Hello guys, and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me, Vulcan, and Val.
Hello.
Today I have for you the first of the 1v1s of the 1v1 Reddit Open Tournament. And today we're seeing Razzmann versus Blackwolf on a very... what is it called?
Hell in a very small place.
That's the one, that's the one. What sort of decks are we looking at?
So these guys decided to throw everything out the window, and we've got a North Korean armoured deck from Blackwolf and an Aussie deck from, what should I say, Anzac, not going to forget the New Zealanders, from Razzmann. So, I mean, this is pretty memey. Let's not beat around the bush here. Memes are my cocaine. Accurate description. We'll have to see what they bring out in these decks.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what is deployed at the start of this game. North Korean armoured. I'm not entirely sure how serious he's trying to be, but he's got a Shilka there covering his UAZ, fair enough. It's in VTT 323s. What sort of infantry would they be? Like Bachongsu or something like that?
I would say Bachongsu, but honestly it could be a few things really. I think you can get the... Actually no, I don't know if you can get the 15 men Yokya days, I can't remember. Been playing too much Steel Division, lost all the crazy names from North Korea.
Yeah, the Yakua days, they come in those small half tracks. They're like the reserve infantry, aren't they? It's interesting to see Razzmann's relying on that Command Leopard in Delta, and he's got a Rover CP, so maybe he's just got cars and tanks on his deck, and then he's got a bunch of M4 1A1s in the top side, getting those nice and cozy, and they can certainly do quite a lot of damage pushed through a forest together. And then he's got a bunch of Leopard AS1s he's bringing in, and what are they? That's a mortar carrier to provide him with his smoke support, and it's quite something to note nowadays in sort of wargame play, how important it is to provide smoke cover for your tanks, because so often now people rely on these like HGM planes, and I can't remember if North Korea gets any specific HGM planes, because it's normally a Red Dragon deck that we see, isn't it? And they have like the JH7s, which are like fair enough, but like I'm not sure if North Korea on their own has too much.
They get the Su-25K, I think it is. It's the 4 SAL missiles, and it's honestly it's not too bad. I think it's 110 points each. Although, to be honest, when you fight against Leopard AS1s as the biggest tank your opponent has, I'm not sure you really need a heavy ATGM plane.
Yeah, you probably get away with like a little helicopter with some ATGMs on it or something.
The man to throw a few stones at it, probably explode.
Yeah. So Unimog on the bottom side, pretty quick deployment from both sides. That's just going to be a recon squad down there, going to be covering off and watching Bravo. Razzmann's going hard, very hard into golf. He's got to the M113 A1 3050s. These guys are just your standard M113s, but what do you think they're carrying? Like Commandos 90 maybe?
It'll be Commandos 90 and Diggers 90, I imagine. That's
yeah, could be Diggers,
general.
Yeah. Then he's got a man-pad squad there as well to cover with a Track Rapier FSA. In the centre, it's literally just going to be these M113 A1 MRVs, which are a very interesting M113s with sort of a Scorpion turret on the top, which is a very interesting unit. Alongside some HGMs there, an infantry squad and another man-pad. He's got a Bell moving forwards over Foxtrot as well, just to scout out what the opponent has. Got to be careful of the APCs they're opening up onto that Bell. He doesn't want to lose that for free. Bell does have its own minigun to fire back, but you don't really want to be using that to engage with its 4 strength. That's not ideal. We're definitely getting a lot of recon information at the moment though, spotting all of these locations where infantry are heading. At the top side, the smoke coming in there, the M4 1A1 spreading out.
Wow.
And we'll wait to see the engagement against these Chonma Hos.
Interesting. I have to say I'm a bit disappointed Blackwolf only now bringing out the Hwasong Chongs, truly the finest carrier in the game. It's going to be quite interesting. Razzmann pushing very hard here, but these Chonma 5s, they're actually heavier than anything he has, so he's going to have to really work hard to kill these.
Yeah, well that's like, the Chonma 5 has 19 AP per, it's a 90-point tank with 16 front armor. The Leopard AS1 actually has 16 AP per for 55 points. Like the Leopard AS1 is incredibly efficient like tank. It's prototype, I believe, for the like Anzac But yeah, he's managed to pick off a lot of those Chonmahos at the top side. So only one Chonmaho 5 left for Blackwolf, and already Razzmann is making quite a lot of ground. The Commandos 90s did come out of those APCs, so he's using those to take on the Bachongsu out of the BTTs. And I'm surprised how well, I guess, all of the infantry coming out of these APCs, honestly.
Yeah, so the AS1s are... They're actually pretty glass cannony. They punch above the weight. They're not actually prototype, but they are basically the best it's got. And this B5 is coming in now, and this is going to be pretty dirty, I think.
Oh yeah, this Track Rapier FSA, can it be here and hit the second shot? It doesn't matter if the B5 gets out of there, but definitely does a lot of damage. All those M41A1s just blew up, and all that infantry has just disappeared as well. That's an insane bombing strike right there. These Leopard AS1s can hold the ground for now, but they've got to be a little bit careful. Milan 2 squad in the center, to the left side of Charlie. That's, you know, done quite a lot of damage to this T-72M, but now this VTT's on target, and the 14.5mm machine gun there is just going to open up onto that Milan as soon as it fires again and maybe just take them out very quickly. Yeah, there they go. There's an RBS 70 squad there. That's completely doomed, really, as the Type 63 gets on target there. That's not the HGM version, but the Manpad version. Come on, it's 90 swinging through to the Swasong Chong. I'm not sure. No, they're gone down. And the Chongsu managed to get their MGs on target, I think, and then take it out. Type 63 actually going amphibious there, just straight into Charlie. Nothing getting in its way, and the Swasong Chong going to go down to the Commandos 90 in Foxtrot. So, interesting at the moment, because there's no, like, player that's really got an advantage. I thought that Razzmann had hit Blackwolf hard on the top side until that B5 came in and changed the whole thing around. So now Razzmann's being forced to invest in the center, since these Bachongsu are pushing pretty hard into Charlie. He's also got to take care of this T-72M, but hopefully this M113 can do the job. Nope.
Not quite.
The T-72 is just going to pop that straight up. Maybe the Leopards will have to come down there and deal with that. The North Force there, oh, that Shilka's going to rip them to shreds as they are found by the MI2.
Yeah, I mean, this actually could turn pretty quickly against Blackwolf here, because if this T-72M dies, I do think Razzmann has a bit of a superiority, and he should be able to push back through to Foxtrot. Although, that being said, these Commandos 90 on the bottom have been ripped apart from these Bachongsu.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of a probe there, yeah, by Razzmann. Is bumping into the Bachongsu, but both of the half tracks are dead now. Like the APCs that the Bachongsu came in, both died to the Commandos 90, because the Bachongsu are fighting in the open. And even one of the Bachongsu squads going down there as well, because they're just not getting into the forest. In that engagement, Blackwolf wants to be moving into the forest there so he gets the cover bonus, because at the moment these Commandos 90 just getting free kills all over the place down there. But yeah, like you said, the T-72M in Charlie, as soon as that dies, even with a T-62D there, they're just not going to be good enough to deal with, especially these Commando 90s that are running straight towards them. The Carl Gustav are going to be more than enough to deal with these tanks, like the T-62D. No, there you go, it's gone. And this T-72M, even though it has enough armor to survive a Carl Gustav in the front, it's only on 1 health, so that's going to go down as well as soon as he gets on target, and there it goes.
At this point now, Razzmann does have quite a nice position here. This B5 is coming in again though, and that is going to melt away those Commandos 90 if you can't get them away in time.
Oh, Phantom 2 though. Not often you see a Phantom 2 coming to the rescue, but he's got his gun on target, and well, all of the missiles missed, but like the Vulcan minigun pulled through, so that's okay. And MiG-29 912B coming in to cover off the B5, but not going to be quick enough. So yeah, that Commandos 90 nearly killed the Bachongsu at the bottom side. And now he's got some M441A1s coming down to kill off the rest of the Bachongsu and just cover off that bridge, I assume. He's, like you said, they got a lot of nice ground in the center. Su-25K coming in with those 4 SAL missiles that we were talking about at the start. That's going to pick off one of the Leopard AS1s. The Track Rapier did score a direct hit. And can it hit a second? Yes, it can. Wow, Track Rapier FSA really paying off there, shooting down that Su-25. That's really, really nice kill coming out.
This is the B5 and the 25k down as well. That's a lot of points just gone like that for Blackwolf. And Razzmann only lost, what, 1 transport and an AS1?
Yeah.
So really worth, really, really worth.
Yeah, these are M113A1s just helping clean out the rest of the infantry in Foxtrot, which is good. Phantom 2's coming in to fly about. That's actually going to probably be engaged by the MiG-29 912B. We'll see who comes out on top of this one. Well, quite simply, the MiG-29. The MiG-29 did take an infrared missile to the face, but is going to get away and be able to repair, so that's okay. The Commandos 90 now coming into the bottom side of Gulf, supported by these Leopard AS1s. TO-55 is going to be covering off the advance of these AS1s with the napalm there, but the Commandos 90 are going to be ripping to shreds the Bachongsu, no problemo.
This is really big as well now, because he doesn't have to manually target that TO as well, because of the Bachongsu dying and the commander stopping engaging. They get one burst of napalm off though.
Yeah, so these Leopard AS1s, you've got to be careful that they don't get hit by the Bachongsu. The Bachongsu don't have the most amazing AT weapons, so that's okay. But still, you know, they have the potential to do some damage there, and Razzmann identifies that and backs off. Chon Maho still actually managing to pick off a unit as it comes up the road there. In Foxtrot, it looks like both of the M113s were taken down by the T-55 and another Chon Maho. Some infantry moving down into Foxtrot now from Razzmann. He's got the Commandos 90 there moving towards Bravo. And he's got some more recon coming up to assist these Leopard AS1s as they move into the middle. And I'm really enjoying this because it's not often that you see half of these units played in any game. So it's nice to see that like North Korean and Anzac coming against each other. It's normally not a combination of decks that we likely see. But those Commandos 90 are going to be finishing off those Bachongsu at the bottom side of Gulf. So that's nice.
This is probably the first time I've seen an AS1 in a couple of months. So, oh, and the AS1 provides as well and takes out that I think it was a Chon Maho 2? I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but either way, in the bottom side, the M41A1, they're finding these Bachongsu, the Bachongsu making a run for it. Commandos 90, if they can get into the buildings in Bravo, I'm pretty sure that Razzmann might be confident enough to maybe move up a command unit there. But as you can see on both sides at the moment, neither team has invested in like command units at all. We've got the initial command unit at Delta and the initial command unit at Alpha, and that's pretty much it on the map at the moment in terms of command units. So both just investing in as many points as they can in order to gain map control before investing in anything else.
I mean, I think if I were Razzmann, I would buy another few units for this mid area and then make the next buy a CV for Charlie. I could maybe buy like another AS1 and some more commandos.
Yeah, one of the sides really needs to be the first to take advantage of the land that they control. Currently, Razzmann's just continuing to reinforce the top side. He's got the Mankati coming up there to repair his AS1s, and that might allow him to start to make a push onto this Chon Maho that's been holding him back up there. The Commandos 90 going to be able to possibly pick up a VTT, but no, they're going to miss that one. Maybe they can hit a second one and kill off an infantry squad before they unload. Chongsu just unloaded in time there.
Well, Razzmann quite lucky in the middle here that AS1 did just take out the Chon Maho 5, which is quite a big deal.
Yeah, MiG-29 going to be flying in for a pass, and that's going to get hit by the Track Rapier FSA. Is this Track Rapier FSA going to hit again? Oh, that nearly got a second kill there with 2 shots in a row. That would have been absolutely fantastic. That Track Rapier now out of ammunition. Needs to get next to that Mankati to resupply. T-55 going to pick off one of the AS1s, but return the kill immediately from the second AS1. There really needs some infantry in Charlie at this point. He actually is opting to go for the 4 M41A1s. It's interesting how those tanks are probably one of the only tanks that are used exactly like Recon, because they work at such a closer range to other tanks. But Chon Maho 5 in Gulf now going to get hit by 4 Leopard AS1s as that advance suddenly comes to fruition. See those Bachongsu engaging the Commandos 90 there, and I think as soon as these North Force get out of the forest in Gulf, they'll spot the second Bachongsu there and be able to destroy them as well. So there we go. All of the guns of the Leopard AS1s getting on target and Bachongsu not having a chance. I'm not quite sure what that rocket plane was trying to achieve. It did destroy one squad of Commandos 90, but in the end, It would have been nicer to have something with a bit more lethality to destroy those Leopard AS1s. And now Golf is pretty much fully under control of Razzmann. He's got rid of that pesky tank that was holding him back. There goes some recon there on the top side as well. And Razzmann's just going to continue to probably fast move those APCs, see how far he can get and see how much map control he has. Because currently, I mean, Foxtrot's the only place on the map that's defended by Blackwolf. The rest of it is just all Razzmann's at the moment. He controls Charlie, he controls Golf, he controls Bravo. He can probably control Foxtrot as soon as he rips through these Pachongsu squads in the center. Just got to be a little bit careful of this MI25 coming up and picking off some of these AS1s.
I mean, I think this is a really good example of sort of like the quality of player Razzmann is, and as much as I hate stroking his ego, like he was really patient in Golf. You know, he had those tanks there, and he just, every time he'd move forward a little bit, he'd realise that he didn't have quite enough, he'd pull back again. You know, he'd just bring in a resupply truck.
Yeah. And
then he only attacked once he knew he had a big superiority. There is a bit of a gap though. This track rapier FSA is unfortunately probably going to get taken out by these VTTs if he's not careful.
Yeah, so M41A1s, I mean, they work like infantry, and I mean, they're just infantry with terrible AP. Because you can see this VTT with its 1 AP power is managing to rip to shreds M41A1s, which basically just says it all. Leopard AS1 coming in to finish the job onto the Pachongsu, VTT still sitting there happy, and that's just quite amusing. Leopard AS1, they're going to pick off that APC as well. Charlie is now under control of Razzmann due to the command Leopard, and what he's got to do is just get rid of the VTT moving towards Delta, and he should be okay. UAZ has come in from Blackwolf to secure Echo, so that's cancelled out the +2. Both players deciding that now was the time to buy in those command units, and they both chose at exactly the same time. VTT, they're actually going to be running straight into the RBS-70 squad that's coming in to reinforce Golf.
It is, yeah, and I mean, this is the one small thing that Blackwolf has going for him, is this little Pachongsu team that could hopefully try and cause a bit of trouble in the back of Golf, but honestly it's looking really dire. Just have a look at the mini-map and see the amount of red to blue, and that says pretty much everything, and more importantly where that red and blue is on the map.
Yeah, so this Pachongsu squad, I mean, it might stop this Leopard AS1 for a little while, but I'm pretty sure Razzmann's going to have something to deal with that soon enough. He's kind of, by moving the Pachongsu up to the right side of Golf as well, given the initiative to Razzmann in Foxtrot, which was the only sector that was kind of held by Blackwolf. And Blackwolf's now moved his Pachongsu squad on the top side of Foxtrot to Golf as well, and now that's getting demolished by these two AS1s. So, yeah, I'm not sure if he had to move all of these Pachongsu into these different locations, because now all he's done is allow Razzmann to secure a better front line with just some units in his back, like, yard basically, and I'm pretty sure he can get rid of those nice and easy. He's just got to be careful about how his reinforcements come in before he deals with the Pachongsu.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate, I think, really. It almost felt a little bit like he had them in kind of decent defensive positions in Foxtrot, and instead of doing what we mentioned, we just sort of praised Razzmann for, which was knowing his limits and waiting until he had more stuff there to actually attack. Sending in one unit Pachongsu, it's just a distraction, but it's not a worthwhile distraction if that's like your only protection in Foxtrot.
Yeah, because now he's given the map control over to Razzmann.
It's one thing to send away like a random squad that you don't need to try and harass the enemy, but then if you don't actually have anything else to use, and that's pretty much your only thing, you can't really afford to do that.
Now Leopard AS1 might get taken out by an MI25.
Oh, the one big thing that Blackwolf does have is this T90S though that he's just brought in. I'm surprised to bring it a bit earlier actually. But that's going to be interesting to see how Razzmann deals with it.
Yeah, it was interesting how he relied on the Chonmahos instead of the T90s. MiG-29 is going to get rid of that Phantom nice and easy. MiG-25's now got to deal with the RBS-70 squad, so that's probably going to go down very quickly now. And these AS1s just need to get the hell out of there, because they do not want to be going up against a T90. Unless they can get some cheeky close shots with the K ammunition, they could actually do quite a lot of damage at close range. SU-7B coming in with his rockets though, that's going to not even destroy the... that didn't even destroy the RBS squad. The T90 did. And then the rockets came in and stunned the Leopard AS1 as well, so that's something that it had going for it. Stopped them from doing any damage to the T90, but still that was quite amusing how the amount of rockets it fired there just completely missed the RBS. The Norforce going to be going down. Type 63 getting a shot onto the S1. And, oh, stabilization malfunction onto the T90, and Skyhawk coming in with two missiles. It still didn't kill it. And the T90 now took out the AS1. Mirage is coming in. Oh, they're going to take out an enemy MiG. Wow. Okay.
Hero Leopard.
That was quite the engagement. Yeah, the Leopard getting the shot off there to finish off the 1 health T90S, and that was just like a complete blur of units that we basically never see, other than the T90 just going up against each other. And well, you can see the result as what's happening now is Razzmann controls Foxtrot. He controls the left side of Gulf thanks to those Commandos 90s. He's cleaning up the Pachongsu. I'm not entirely sure why Blackwolf just moved them out of the buildings there, but they're going to get demolished now. Even a gun run from the Mirages there going to come in and finish those off. And now Razzmann's pretty much secured over 2/3 of the map, I would say.
You know, all he has to do is just put a CV in the back of Gulf, put a CV in Bravo, and at this point, you know, he's so far ahead, he can afford to do that, I think. You know, maybe spurs them with another tank or two on the for the top side. But yeah, it's not it's not looking good for Blackwolf.
I'm not quite sure this North Korean armored deck is paying off. These Leopard AS1s actually just so good. I mean, like, they're just really cost efficient, and I think just like the infantry of Anzac's actually really cost efficient, whereas what does North Korea really have going for it? I mean, T90Ss are great, yeah, but you just lost it. Mirage is coming in again to shoot down the SU-7, and Blackwolf's just not being given a break. Another SU-7B MK coming in with the 57mm rocket pods. I'm just going to watch this because it must look so cool. Yeah. Wow, that actually demolished those infantry squads.
It's because Razzmann was moving them across the road, so they're out in the open. If he left them in the building, they might have had a bit more chance to survive there.
Yeah, that plane actually has a really nice camouflage on it. But either way, Mi-25 coming in. That's going to kill one AS1 on the left side of Foxtrot. M113A1 is going to hit the ammo box of the Mi-25, but not going to be enough to stop the 12.7mm minigun from doing the job. So that's going to finish that off, and Leopard AS1 engaging with a Type 63 is going to have to hope that the Type 63 misses or is withdrawn and, well, dies. So that's okay. I'm pretty sure Razzmann's happy with that engagement. He's bringing up 2 more Leopard AS1s to the top side alongside a Mankati to repair the ones he already has. So he should be able to control the left side of Gulf continually throughout this game. Leopard AS1 now moving up to the top side to help out these Commandos 90s, and you can see Razzmann's actually turned off the mini-me's of the Commandos 90s there to help him be able to just quickly engage these APCs. But now he's basically like using them like short-range HGM squads to just pop the APCs, and that will basically make both the Commandos 90s pay themselves off. But the Pachongsu are on the case and are actually going to hit a side shot into the Leopard AS1 there and kill off both squads of Commandos 90 as well. So I think Blackwolf dealt with that threat quite well with those Pachongsu and the APCs there, not letting them get taken out. Commandos 90 and Bravo still causing issues, and the Mankati has finally arrived to repair those AS1s in Gulf. So looks like he might be able to take back that ground, get the command unit in there, and really start to solidify this lead that he has.
He might be able to, but he still needs to buy some stuff from mid, because a couple of minutes ago I would have said he had quite a nice control of it, but with that loss there, that's a lot of stuff down the drain, and he needs more of these Commandos 90, I think, and he is bringing them in. He can bring some Milan squads as well. I don't think they even get Milan 2s, do they?
Yeah, I think they do get Milan 2s, but either way, what happened was, yeah, he lost his AS1 in the mid, driving over that little mountain there, and then he lost the AS1 at the bottom side, and losing both of those basically allowed these half-tracks to just break straight through. So he does have the Commandos 90s there coming in the 3050 M113s, and he does have the Milans coming in to cut off the APCs. He also has a Bushranger. Now these Bushrangers are really nice because they have heat rockets with 2 AP power, so they can actually, if they get on target, really hurt the VTTs there. And they have just stunned them. Oh, big air engagement there. 2 planes going to be going down. MiG-29 went down in exchange for what looked like one of the Mirages, I think. Commandos 90 is going to be picking off the VTTs, so that's good. And now he has a favourable engagement against the Bachongsu, so that's nice as well.
Yeah, I mean, Razzmann's really, he's gotten control back over this middle area really quickly, actually, so very good for him. I want to see if his crazy air force is going to be in position to try and deal with this BMK.
BMK there did just take out that APC, but no big deal. Not quite sure what it's going for, but it's just floating around over near that Track Rapier. Track Rapier actually ran out of ammunition, which is the only reason that this Su-7 is probably still flying about. But still, very nice plane to look at. Just having a good old look at that.
Had that cool blue. Oh, and it gets shot down.
Oh, what did that get shot down by?
The two Mirages
Just come out of nowhere. Not letting him get away with that. Okay, so Commandos 90s now being caught out in the open as they move up the ridge near Foxtrot. Milan squads firing down the roads towards the T-72s. And yeah, I think you might have been right there. I don't think they do get Milan 2s. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Razzmann would have invested in them over Milan, like the standard Milan squads. Leopard AS1 is going to come down and help finish off that last tank. And the Type 59s being hit by these Commandos 90s. The M113s moved up the ridge to help assist take out the Bachongsu. So I think Razzmann's got this back under control again in the middle after he lost those couple more expensive tanks, I guess. I was going to say expensive, but they're not that expensive in the mid.
This Commandos 90 just missed again. Finally! Oh my god, that took 6 rockets to kill that thing.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes these commanders, like, they have 60% accuracy, and sometimes it just can't, like, it just doesn't go in your favour. It's the same with, like, especially it happens a lot with planes, when, like, planes come in and they fire their missiles and they just don't hit, even though they have a more than likely chance of doing so. But either way, firing computer reset there onto the Leopard AS1 from the T-72. That's not very nice at all. But either way, Razzmann's just going to be pulling that back. The M113s are making a run for Echo. And if they can get over that bridge, they might bump into this UAZ. And if they do, that's going to become a +4 lead for Razzmann very quickly, since Razzmann has now got a Rover CP in Golf and Foxtrot.
Well, they have got over.
Yeah, the UAZ is moving away. T-72 was chasing them down. We've also got an Mi-25 coming in. Skyhawk's going to finish off the T-72M. It looks like the UAZ has been found by the M113 3050. Can it do enough damage in time? I don't think it can. Mi-25 is going to come to the rescue there and blow up that APC. So yeah, either way for now, +4 for just a little bit. Razzmann's still gaining a huge lead, and not much he can do, Blackwolf, to really stop this now.
I mean, I would miss my T-92 if I were him, because that's definitely something that might be helping out now in this bottom side.
Yeah, he could just use that to pick off these Leopard AS1s so easily if he had kept it at range. Like, if it was on the other side of the river, like if it come up through Echo and was firing across from that left side of the river to the right side of Gulf, that would have done a lot more damage to the Leopard AS1s, but instead he got it really close and it got popped to close range. Took so much damage from like all of those Leopards, and then it just eventually just died to like the amount of stuff that was there. And Leopard AS1 picking off another tank there on the bottom side, and I don't think that's quite the case, Blackwolf, as he gets knocked out the tournament if he loses this game.
Yeah, unless whoever faces Razzmann next has to play North Korea as well, and that's just has to go all the way through until someone beats him.
Yeah. That'd be quite amusing. So Bushranger getting on target there to the VTTs again. I mean, it's also got the miniguns there. The heat rocket's going to do enough to stun that VTT for now. You could probably get that Bushranger to move forwards and actually use the twin miniguns, but I guess at this point he's probably better off just moving it away. Mi-25's coming in to engage that anyway. Commandos 90 there might be able to do quite a lot of damage if they get their guns on target. Gotta be careful with that M25, could just get constantly stunned, and well, the Mirages just come out of nowhere and take that out of the sky, that's for sure.
You know what, having 0 ECM, these Mirages have done some pretty good work actually.
I know, right? These Mirages, they're nice 70-point fighters, and I mean, in like just like flying around together, like in that squad of 2, just doing so much work. Honestly, this game.
They really are. And Black Wolf, we got the message. We're here now.
Yeah, we're here. We're here
just
for you.
Yeah, just for you. Emotional support.
So yeah. Anyway, Commandos 90s engaging these Pachongsu from cover. Not really going to be a battle that can be won by the Pachongsu. The Commandos 90 actually still being fixed up by the Mankati there, but now artillery coming in. We got some long-range 120mm mortars assisting this engagement, but the Leopard AS1 has something to say about that. Well, Su-7B actually just destroyed that Leopard AS1 in one pass, something that I did not expect to see happen in this game.
This BMK has been doing like hardcore mega work. That's the best way I can describe just what it's been doing, because everything else has just been going downhill for Black Wolf, apart from that one plane.
I'm not sure like any of these Pachongsu or tanks have ever been paying themselves off, honestly. Whereas like these AS1s have been getting kills every time I've seen them. These Leopard AS1s coming down into Echo now. They're just literally fast moving into Echo. Mi-25 actually coming up to try and stop that. Chon Ma-ho is going to get hit by one Skyhawk missile. Yeah, this UAZ, oh, looks like they found it. All they've got to do, one pop and boom. Okay, +4 for Razzmann now. Yes, this Mi-24 might kill off the AS1s, but maybe not, actually. If it can't get the HGM on target and the machine guns continue to fire, that's going to be constantly stunned and shot down, which is quite amusing. Razzmann's fully aware of this and just moving his MG3s as close as he can. Mi-25 going for the 360 no-scope onto the AS1 there, and missing, unfortunately. So that's just going to get constantly panicked, constantly stunned. Nothing really that he can do about that. Mi-25 just waiting to die unless it can luckily get out of there. That Mi-25 trying to take out the one moving down into Alpha as well, which keeps missing. He keeps missing. He's got 4 Flater HGMs, and so far 2 have missed. Su-7B, yeah, coming in again.
To be fair, they have such a bad stabilizer, like you're never going to hit us 20%.
Well, it looks like Black Wolf surrendered, and I think rightly so. After 29 minutes and 53 seconds, the kills are very much in Razzmann's favour, and Razzmann takes the game, Black Wolf being knocked out of the tournament. What do you think of that one, Val?
I mean, it's one of the most interesting games we've ever cast, I think, but that's probably just because they played some of the strangest decks I've ever seen. I mean, I think in terms of play, it was what I expect from Razzmann. You know, kind of always keeping that little bit of aggression up everywhere, while also kind of having the sense to know when and when he can't push, and when he can push. For Black Wolf, I actually played against Black Wolf. I've not played Wargame in a while, and played against him in the first game back, and he and his team played very well. So kudos to him then, but unfortunately Razzmann is much better than I am, and also playing North Korean Armoured, I'm not convinced it's probably the best thing to use. I would have liked to have seen more of those Hwasong Chongs, because a lot of the stuff that really messed him up later on was some of the air power. Like the reason that T90 died was because it got side-shotted by the oh no, so I think it was hit the front maybe by the 26 AP Skyhawk. And now the Skyhawk may be terrible, but if you don't have any AA, it doesn't matter how terrible it is. It's still gonna, have the opportunity to hit.
Yeah, the Skyhawk managed to hit both of its HGMs, which is quite a feat, really, for the Skyhawk. But either way, it left it on low enough health for the Leopard to come in and just pop it. And I think it just came down to the positioning of that tank. He didn't have it far enough back, and wasn't keeping it at range from the Leopards in the first place, and let it get caught out. And he even had the mortar there to try and smoke it, but he didn't. And I think, just both sides, players handicapped each other in general. I would say that Anzac is better than North Korean Armoured anyway, but
I disagree personally.
Razzmann really played it well, I think.
I think if Blackwolf would have used the T90 correctly, he should have been able to take that game.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Then again, Razzmann is,
But again, he has a lot of AS1s, like, and the Commandos 90s do pretty much beat any North Korean infantry.
They can, but what you need to remember is that you get the veteran T62Ds, and you get the T90. So what you have to do is North Korean Armoured is marry those together, and those whenever I play I usually play Red Dragon Armoured, but if you play like North Korean Armoured 2, literally just get those like T62Ds in a 3-stack and just move them in behind your infantry, and they will just wipe everything in their path. And I feel like Blackwolf just didn't really play the combined arms game very well. He didn't sort of build up correctly, and he just had these weird sort of irrational little pushes he did with the units that he couldn't really afford to waste.
Yeah, there was a lot like all over the place throughout the game, and I think just the focus was quite hard for both players because of the way in which Razzmann pushed into the top side, and I think it just kind of confused Blackwolf as to where the rest of the troops were on the map, and he just ended up getting like almost surrounded. At the bottom side, there's like commandos shouldn't have been able to hold the 2 Pachongsus and 2 APCs at bay like on their own. That was just due to a little bit of micromanagement. It just gave away the bottom of the side of the map to Razzmann, and well, I think that's pretty much the story of the game. It was just a bit chaotic, and
just a bit.
And it was just really interesting anyway, just to see a lot of units that aren't normally used, especially like those Mirages from Razzmann that just absolutely smashed things out of the air. It was really fun to see.
Yeah, just an all-round fun game to watch, I think.
All right. Well, yeah. Anything more to say at all?
Not really. We look forward to seeing Razzmann in the next round. Commiserations to Blackwolf, but you'll go down in history as the guy who tried to play North Korean Armoured against Razzmann, so you got that going for you.
Yeah. Right. So that's all, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.